Free chocolate. So welcome to Arequipa. We finally made it after a very long bus journey, 13.5 hours to be precise, overnight. You know, we've got very little sleep, but we made it here. We've gone and got ourselves a coffee and something sugary for breakfast, so we've got a bit of energy to get us through the day. But we actually only have a quick pit stop here. We have 2 days and 1 night, so we're going to try and make the most of it. Arequipa is actually Peru's 3rd main city, which is quite surprising considering it sits about 2,300 meters above sea level. Arequipa is quite a common pit stop for people who are looking to acclimatise, because working up to Cusco is much higher, so this is a good first stop to get used to the higher altitude and the lower oxygen. Despite being extremely tired, we are wanting to make the most of it today, so we've got booked onto, guess what, another walking tour. That starts this afternoon, which we're going to pick up shortly, and see what the city's about. Today outside of Peru's first organic chocolate factory, which is based here in Arequipa. Free chocolate. So we're going to finish up today by going to Alama and Alpaca wool factory, and it's actually based right in the city, except this one is a little bit special because this one has indigenous workers actually working for the factory. They come down once a month in 2s and they work for the month and then go back up to the mountains. But the reason why they do this is because it affords them a very good life, and it also gives them a chance to sell their authentic clothes, their authentic products. So it's quite a special factory. So we're going to run there now because it's starting to get to sunset.
If you want, you can remove the mask. We finish the tour with a nice view. Depending from which part of the valley, because not all have the same valley.
The majority of the buildings here in Arequipa are actually all made from volcanic stone, and volcanic stone is quite ashy, quite white, and it is actually part of the reason why the town itself is called the White City. There is also a part that because the buildings were made from white hundreds of years ago, this wasn't actually desirable, and that's why a lot of the houses have these bright colourful paints on the outside to make them look more attractive. However, later on it then became part of the fashion to actually have the natural stone. So that's why there is a mixture of natural stone and bright colourful buildings all around the city.
So James promised that he wasn't going to spend money on expensive coffee, and now we're currently sitting waiting 10 minutes so something can get hand grinded while we wait, so he can have his coffee. So James, you have to say for himself, how much did you spend on this coffee?
25 soles, which is about £6. It's worth it.
We're not going to eat all week.
Okay, so to give you a little bit of context as to why the coffee is so expensive. So it's firstly called Kopi Luwak coffee, and it's really to the thanks of an animal called a civet, which is a bit like a leopard badger cross, and it's an animal that is from the Amazon originally, and it's a little animal that just loves coffee beans basically, but it also has a diet of fruit and berries, and all from the Amazon itself. So the beans are what we call harvested naturally, and this is through the civet's digestive system, shall we say, and then it's collected from their feces. That's the long and short of it. It's poop coffee, but because of the fruit and berries, it gives it a very sweet undertone. It's then roasted and then served to us as an espresso. But the reason why it is so expensive and the reason why it takes so long to serve is because it takes so long to process the beans and to get them. They only serve it as it's bought. So I got it today and it took them about 10 minutes because they have to hand grind it and then serve it, and they only grind enough beans for one serving. And then Ethan has a strawberry milkshake. So we're going to do a smell test first. So it doesn't smell overly strong, but it definitely smells sweet. So it is strong, don't get me wrong, but there's no bitterness to it at all. You can just really taste the coffee and the fruit and the sort of the natural sweetness. It's actually really nice. Ethan, shows your legs.
Bad day for shorts.
Stopping for a quick gas top up. Certainly isn't a Shell garage. We're currently just making our way through the floating villages until we get to our lodge, which is on a floating island as well. So it's currently 6 o'clock in the morning and it's about 0 degrees, I think.
Yep, it's 0.
So we're waiting just to check in whilst we're on our lodge, but this island's incredible. So the island itself is made of reeds and it just floats in the lake. Now it's about 0 degrees and this is the amount of warmth that I brought: a fleece and a hoodie, and Ethan has only brought shorts. So we're not sure how we're quite going to deal with the coldness, but so far it's one of the most picturesque places we've ever been. So we're just going to enjoy our coffee, chill and wait for check-in. So a few hours later and we've finally been able to check into our room, and let me show you it. Check out that view. now that we've had a little bit of time to relax, we actually have the island all to ourselves at the minute. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour and show you around. So from the accommodation, you cross a bridge across to the main communal area, which is here. So just behind me, this is where they prepare the reeds. So every 6 months or so, they actually replenish the reeds from the top down. Obviously underneath, as it's wet, it gets rotten away. So they replenish from the top, but actually they have to lift all of the buildings up to be able to put a new layer underneath. So this is then preparing the reeds for the new layer.
7 days, been calling it backwards. Our dreams holding us closer.
So as you can see, far up in the distance, this is where all of the reed fields are, but this is all still water. And then as you pan round this side, you can see that this is the remainder of Lake Titicaca. There's also this pretty cool bin. Good morning. So after a very chilly night, which actually wasn't too bad, we were actually sent to bed, should I say, with 8 wool blankets and a hot water bottle. So it was actually a very cozy night, but as soon as you put an arm or a leg outside of the covers, it was freezing, and getting a shower this morning was even colder. Today we decided to do a day tour and to go explore the island. Now, from what we understand, because it was all in Spanish, it goes to explore the rest of the Uros Islands, which is the floating villages. So we get to see a little bit more of the day-to-day life and explore a few more of the islands. And we then end up in Island of Taquile, which is a natural island, so not one of the reed islands. This is a natural island on Lake Titicaca. We're going to then go explore there before heading back to Puno, where we have a little bit of a wait for our night bus up to Cusco. I think that llama's stoned. We were then able to experience a traditional dance of the people of Taquile. Colour is a huge part of their dress, but it also indicates whether they are married, single, or even a retired leader by which colours they wear. As a married man on their ceremony, the wife will contribute their hair to their husband as an extension that you see here, and they will wear this to honour their wife and as another symbol of marriage. We're now going to stop for some lunch on the island. This is a quinoa soup, and these are fried bread with a tomato and onion and chili salsa. Trout for Maine, and Ethan's first time trying it. Thoughts?
Tastes like chicken.
Also, welcome to the highest beach in the world. Yeah, nah, I ain't going to that. Nah. One crazy bastard did. And so now that we've finished our day trip on the islands, we now have to make our way to the bus terminal, which is a little bit of a walk from the port. However, because we have all of our luggage with us, we have to walk with everything on us. We've got a backpack on the front, a backpack on the back, and off we trundle.